Warriors. Good Thursday practice. Finished up red zone opportunity and a good game plan. From injury report status, only new news is Brandon Peely did practice today. Looked very functional, so we'll see any soreness tomorrow and see where he's at game time. Giuliano Falanico cleared concussion protocol and is cleared to play if needed. And those are the only two updates I got for you.
What's your feeling on Vi, Said, and Chuma?
Vi and Said both look good. I think they're both going to be ready to go. Obviously, hopefully, knock on wood, they stay healthy. We do have Marquise has a one game left availability, so if needed, we'll be able to use him.
Marquise the other day said doesn't matter. He's getting out here in 3 years. That's his plan, he said.
I like it. I'll take it right now. That means he did really, really well.
What do you think of Jalen McKenzie?
I tell you what, he had a good week last week of preparation and showed up well in the game and just had another great week of preparation. You know, with Chuma being down right now, has really taken the opportunity, and it's great reps for him. I think he's going to be a talented kid in the future. You know, he's a big kid, 325 pounds with really great feet. You know, so it's great work for him right now for the future.
Is Chip Kelly's offense, is it much different than it was at Oregon?
You know, the dynamic of the tempo is still there, and the run game. You know, he's running some different run schemes than he ran the first time he was there. I think he's brought some pro aspect to the game, that things that he did in Philly and San Fran, and you know, but the tempo was there, and just doing the same plays over and over. It may change from game to game as far as formationally and how they're running the plays, but you know, once you get about a half of football, you know, he gets good at what he does, and he continues to run it. And you know, so the tempo has been the same, and then offensively, he's kind of stayed scheme-wise same throughout the year.
You guys, redshirting guys is obviously a huge thing for you guys, and especially with the defensive line. And I was talking to Johnny Nansen, and he was talking about how Elijah Winston and Malik will play more this week, maybe the final 2 weeks. What have you seen from those guys? Because Elijah looks like a guy that maybe you haven't even had before.
Yeah, you know, Elijah brings a great dynamic of almost linebacker and edge player. You know, being a 240, 245-pound man that can bend. We've got some great youth, I'll be honest with you. I think of Elijah, I think of Hunter Eccles, I think of Malik, I think of us redshirting, you know, Connor Murphy and Caleb Tremblay. There's going to be some dynamic players in the future, and to be able to watch them grow up, I think it's going to be one of those things you're going to look up a year from now and go, wow, where did those guys come from? I've said it before, I'm a big fan of the redshirt rule, to be able to give kids experience, and it keeps your older kids healthy. I couldn't imagine right now if we were having to make those decisions about, you know, whether a freshman was playing or not, and having to give another kid 80 plays versus Chip Kelly offense, you know. So it's good to get those young kids in, get them experience, and get them groomed for the following year, and still be a redshirt freshman.
Since you've been here, you're 3-0 against UCLA. What does a win in the rivalry kind of do for the program?
I think it does a lot for our seniors, and that's what I told our team today. You know, to be able to say, you know what, I went through my 4 years at USC, and I garnered the victory bell each year. I mean, that's a huge thing as a player and a competitor, and that's our opportunity right now. Now we've got to go out and earn it. You know, so it's something that it is a great rivalry. I've said that it's a unique rivalry. I think the most important thing for me right now is to be able to have the likes of those seniors, the Cam Smith and the Porters and the Marvells, the Biggies, the Toas, the Chris Browns, those guys that, you know, have kind of been here. We've done this together, and you know, to be able to hopefully keep that bell cardinal would be a great thing, and it's going to be a great task.
In the past, has it given the program any momentum or things like that?
You know, I think it's always an end of the year game, and it always, you know, at the end of the day, for 365 days, you get to feel really good about yourself. You know, we do live together, you know, and and to be able to have that pride that you competed and won against a good Bruin team is something that you take away and makes you feel good at the end of the year, and goes into recruiting and goes into those other things that everybody likes to talk about. But for us, it's most important for me is having those seniors walked out of here and hopefully have 4 victory bells under their belt.
How different is it being part of this game with the 2 teams with the most losses that they've ever had going into the game, and neither one with like a, something really big on the line? How different is this approach this year?
I would take it different, Dan. I would say it is really big. I think that anytime that you're talking about the memories that players have and make, especially this is, those guys that I mentioned, this is their last time to play UCLA. And I've always thought in the rivalry games, they always say, hey, you can throw the records out. It doesn't matter if you're both undefeated or both winless. I mean, when you play rivalry games, they're important because they're important to the guys that are in that locker room. And so for us, you treat it like it's a Super Bowl. You treat it like it's a championship game. And I know it's those kids worked extremely hard in prep this week, and were very competitive and focused, and they want this for themselves, for our school, and for the pride to bring the victory bell home.
How does Chip change the dynamic of the rivalry, or does it?
Say that one.
How does Chip change the dynamic of the rivalry?
I don't really see the dynamic of the rivalry changing. I think obviously schemes change compared to the last 3 years. But with Coach Kelly coming in town, I thought it was a great thing. Anytime that you can bring quality coaches into the league, it's a good thing. It makes your league more competitive. It brings more reputation and respect to the league. So to be able to have a Coach Kelly in conference, that's a good thing. But as far as the dynamic of the rivalry, it doesn't matter who the coaches are. That rivalry is going to go a long time.
Did you guys interact much when he was at Oregon?
At that point in time, I was a coordinator and position coach, and so didn't have a ton of interaction because I wasn't head coach, but enjoyed time with him when we were at our head coaches meetings. Really personable, really was extremely cordial and polite, and got a lot of respect for him. He's one of those guys that has been being an offensive coach by trade. He's one of those guys that he's been an offensive genius for a long time, and have always looked up to him and his offensive mind.
Does he come off differently when than his public image?
He's great one-on-one. I mean, I haven't studied him too much in the public, but as far as just man to man and getting to know a guy, I mean, he's a pro. You love to compete against him. But he's always treated me with the utmost respect and has always been extremely professional, extremely nice.